And anyone who has a problem with him buying Twitter. The Tesla founder tweeted, "The extreme antibody reaction from those who fear free speech says it all." He later followed up with what he meant with, "By free speech, I simply mean that which matches the law. I'm against censorship that goes far beyond the law. If people want less free speech, they will ask government to pass laws to that effect. Therefore, going beyond the law is contrary to the will of the people." It comes after Twitter accepted the world's richest man's bid to take over the company for $44 billion on Monday local time. Under the terms of the deal, the social media giant will become a private company and its shareholders will receive $54.20 per share. It's a twisted turn of events as Twitter and its board members had been opposed to Mr. Musk taking over the company. The founder of Twitter, who is still a board member, and former CEO Jack...
Hasn't it been fun to see the feral leftist meltdown over Elon Musk's decision to buy Twitter for $61 billion Australian? The social media platform, as you know, is a toxic sewer where the left bullies and shuts down anyone they disagree with. Musk, in a tweet, says he'll restore free speech, saying it's the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated. Strategy advice
should not be discounted. So Twitter is one of the original platforms that launched. Good to be with you, Chris. I think so, because while most of the airplay around this, since this news is broken, is around the societal impact of this and the place for free speech and everything, there is a secondary focus that is very, very important and should not be discounted. So Twitter is one of the original platforms that launched, at the start of sort of the social media revolution 10 years ago or so, and it's really languished, where its valuation has remained pretty much flat. Its user
the tenor.
What is he talking about? Bloodbath. Earnings.
Elon Musk calls himself a free speech absolute.
Yeah, see, look, yeah, Joy Reid, that woman is crazy, a black chick. She says some of the most crazy things out of her mouth, just crazy. But she's a millionaire. Like, bitch, I don't care. There's no such thing as people have different experiences. If it's y'all use the word systemic. Systemic means you wouldn't have been made it. You wouldn't be a millionaire, but you would have tell everybody else that tell their kids, somebody with a 4-year-old right now, that their 4-year-old black kid, their 4-year-old ain't gonna make it. That some white man is gonna come do something to him. It's like, where, when is this happening? Well, y'all, it's just fucking crazy.
First of all, that's BS.
Misinformation and disinformation could be amplified.
I don't trust Elon Musk to make Twitter better for women at all.
It seems to me that it's about free speech of straight white men.
If you own all of Twitter or Facebook or what have you, you don't have to explain yourself. You don't even have to be transparent. You could secretly ban one party's candidate or all of its candidates, all of its nominees, or you could just secretly turn down the reach of their stuff and turn up the reach of something else.
You see what that white dude just did? He just told what they've been doing to our side for years. That's what they're mad about. But we're not gonna do that. See, that's what they're so stupid. They're literally telling on themselves. Like I said, this is like in high school. This reminds me, like, nigga, you just told on yourself. The teacher wasn't even worried about you. You just told on yourself. Like somebody, they late or something, but the teacher wasn't even paying attention, looking the other way or something. And I was at the bathroom. The teacher, like, it gives him a weird look, has to turn around and look at him. So, and it's like, and we're all like, nigga, you just told on it's probably something else, more serious than that, but, that's all I can come up with, that type of scenario where I can remember just laughing at niggas who told on themselves, or with your girl, you tell on yourself with your girl or something, you just start confessing. He just said you can secretly turn down one, and they said it. Some other dudes, that wrestler, he be on Fox. He yesterday I played that video too. He was saying all of a sudden he started getting followers, all like hundreds. And he was like last night, and I guess they filmed a little segment yesterday, the day before, early in the morning or something. And he said, all of a sudden he just started. Basically, he been had those followers, but they would, like that dude just said, they turned him down because he works for Fox. And he's, even though he's a wrestler, you know, athlete. He's on Fox. He's on our side, and so they turned him down. But they didn't ban him, but they turned him down, like this guy just said.
Else, and the rest of us might not even find out about it till after the election.
Well, that's right.
And that's what they said they did. Everybody knows what they did with Hunter Biden, and a lot of the fools that I don't know why they even needed the Hunter Biden story to not vote for Joe Biden, but they said they wouldn't have voted for him if they would have knew about him and Hunter Biden, you know, all that shit. And that story, that's literally what they did. They turned that story down. And majority of people don't spend their time like we do, you know, because it's funny to me. It's not, oh, I'm just careful, but it really was. Like I said, it reminds me of high school, just dumb shit. And I knew it was going to backfire because you can't keep doing it. It's just too many people to keep doing dumb shit. It's just like, you're not going to get away with it. It's like Scooby-Doo. You're not going to, you would have got away with it too. It's not, we didn't even have to meddle. You just, you know, like Napoleon said, never interfere with an enemy when they're making a mistake, you know, when they're destroying themselves. You know, just sit back and watch them destroy themselves. Now, where is the other one? Here's that word they
I
talking
was
about.
paying for in-flight Wi-Fi for months before I finally caught it. Triple
These damn ads.
It was all horrible, and yet.
If you get invited to something where there are no rules, where there is total freedom forever.
That's that Gab, you know, everybody be talking about Brian. Look at him, he looks like a big baby. He literally looks like a baby, and to make it worse, he is just spewing all those lies and this and that, and he's bald headed. He literally looks like a baby, like he didn't hit puberty. And he's fat, you know. I'm sorry, you know, I don't like promote violence, but when he's telling those lies and, you know, basically saying we need protection as black men, you know, from white supremacy, all this shit, you know, you wouldn't punch that dude in the face.
Everybody, do you actually want to go to that party? Or are you going to decide to stay home?
Yeah, we're going to that party. Mr. Hall Monitor. But picture this fella in high school. Hey, Brian, it's Jennifer. My parents are away all weekend, so I'm having a huge bash in my house Saturday night. You coming or what? Wait, Jen, did you say no adult supervision? Who's going to moderate alcohol? Who's checking IDs? Is there going to be loud music? Sorry, I'm going to have to call your parents. Besides, there's a Star Trek documentary on Sci-Fi Network. Now, obviously, that's unrealistic. Jen would never call Brian in the first place. Surely dates got...
He would have never been invited. But we all been saying that shit. This party led by white women, black women too, you know. Some of these rich black women try to tell everybody that the rest of us can't make it. That's evil. Why are women gotta do that shit? Nobody cares if you know. I ain't finna fuck you. Or who know? They probably fucking thugs too. You know, seriously. So nobody cares about that. But don't try to make us broke and shit like that.
All right, I'm going to go to you first, Tyrus, for one or two things. One, congratulations again on number one. And number two, you mentioned this to me last night that you saw your Twitter feed go up after the sale.
Yeah.
Your Twitter feed, Twitter followers. So I go home, I did too, thousands.
Yeah.
What do you make of this?
Well, I don't tweet that much.
Yeah.
And I was playing my Xbox, and I happened to look, and I was like, when did I have 400,000? What? And I kept noticing every minute 100 new followers, 100 new followers. And I was like, okay, so Dad's coming home, and they're trying to clean up. This is what they're... So they either were... And they even said they adjust the dials to see your reach or whatever.
Right.
So apparently they took young viewership away from us.
So yeah, they like that dude said, just like that dude was talking about, oh, they can change the dials. He's talking about our side. Now that Elon owns it, we're gonna turn down Democrats. No, we want y'all to say stupid shit. We don't have to goddamn. That's what I'm saying. Like he said, he's playing Xbox. This goes back to the Nintendo days. If we're sitting playing Madden in 1988 with 14, 15, I didn't have to cheat. I didn't want to cheat to beat you. I wanted to beat you and do my dance, in your face. 'Cause, back then you had to play next. You had to go over your homeboy's house or come over, or if you had a brother. But you, I don't like cheating to beat you. I want to beat you fair and square. So like I said, I get in your face, nigga, because I didn't cheat. You know, I'm dead serious. If I beat you, if I lose, then I just gotta go practice. You know, the new games. When I did have a PlayStation 4 a couple of years ago, you know, they would come over, we'd play NBA, whatever, 2K, like 2015. And, I couldn't beat them. I didn't get mad. I just stopped playing. I would just play the computer. I also wouldn't play online because I knew I ain't play enough and I didn't care enough anymore to get good at it. I didn't want to get good at it, because I just didn't care that much. It was a little too numb. Madden, I could play a little good. I could play online and I could beat people. But, the gang stalkers, they would have gang stalkers play me. Because they would get mad. Because I didn't know at the time, because other games I had the microphone on for. And I didn't know if you leave it on and start another game and it was still on. And one day, all of a sudden, I just heard some giggling. I was like, what the fuck? And I knew it was some little kids. And, immediately you knew what it was. If they just started giggling, we could hear you, because I guess they could realize I'm by myself, and probably the gangsters told them. Because they were, yeah, trust me, they had that much control that they could, I didn't understand, but I just knew it. Growing up, our generation, you knew enough, even if they didn't tell us that they had enough control that they can pick who plays me. They had one little boy, his name was Cripple Man. And that's what I'm saying. I was supposed to feel sorry. The only thing I feel sorry for, because it was times I play him a couple of times, and he, and I started asking what's da. But then it'd be getting late. We'd be playing. It was all right when we was playing in the middle of the day on a Saturday. But I'm like, nigga, you supposed to be asleep. You hear this a little boy. I'm serious. I get like, man, you need. It wasn't like he beat me that bad. I was bad like that because we've been had that joke for that's why most of us like in the 2000s, like 05, 06, 07 when Xbox Live first came out, we didn't want to do it because some little kids, more than likely you gonna play some little kid, they're gonna blow you away or on a Call of Duty or some shit. So I'm like, man, I don't like that online shit. But shit, but with Madden, I was good enough that I could play people, and strangers, and not get blown away. But I stopped playing because of all that kneeling shit, and I can't even play Madden no more, whatever. But because of Kaepernick, so that's why I ain't even buy a PlayStation 5. But yeah, so I don't like the cheat. If the only times I bought books back there, I used to buy Nintendo Power, but that was to learn how to beat, the first Zelda. What was it, 1980, whatever, Nintendo Power or Contra. Everybody, you had to do that. You couldn't help but get the code for the 30 man on Contra. Everybody had, that was just something everybody. The only time I used books and codes was to beat certain games that's just so hard. But other than that, if it's a game playing each other, I just play organic. I can't beat you. By the time Mortal Kombat came out, I think I was about 18 when that shit first came out. We saw that we walked into Walmart. We just, back then just hanging out. What the hell is this game? It looked like Street Fighter, but different. Then it blew up. It hadn't even blown up yet. It was brand new. So we played that game. But like I said, it's competition. It's like, listen, you can't cheat, but I'm just saying, that's what they're telling on us. Says, no, they're gonna be able to turn our side. We don't have to turn your side down. Y'all policies are stupid. People are dying. Black people are dying in record numbers in Philadelphia, Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers dying, literally dying. People's children, 6, 7, can't even play in their bedrooms and fucking died. And they think we the ones who self-hate. You know, the Democrats, they'll say, oh, it's self. Well, how's that self-hated? Then they're like, why don't you do something? I'm not the mayor. I'm not the mayor. Anybody with common sense knows the mayor don't have to do anything either but sign papers. Authorize this, authorize that. This all you gotta do. You ain't gotta go out and actually patrol. We don't need no group like the Black Panthers no more, or the Guardian Angels. I remember the Guardian Angels when I used to live in New York. You know, that shit was scary in the 70s to be a 4 or 5-year-old. Yeah, I still remember the smell of the piss when you somewhere like Manhattan. The doorways to a business smelled like piss from all the bums and shit. That shit. When you see somewhere, you know, now you see old pictures with graffiti on the wall like that. You with your mom in a city like that, that shit is goddamn scary. You know what I'm saying? That shit was scary back then. Riding the subway was scary. You know. It's just, that's another thing. You see people getting killed, getting pushed on the subway tracks in New York City, right? And I'm like, and finally somebody wrote the comment too, like, who in the hell stands by the goddamn subway tracks? The yellow line, you know, whatever. When I was a kid, I was told, I think I'm like 3 years old, I remember. They was giving, at that point, you know, we probably didn't know, they didn't know they was moving down south. But, you know, they telling me this a life lesson. Don't never stand by the line, you know, never, because, you know, that was the 70s. And they ain't sugarcoated, they told us the story. People would get pushed, and sometimes made so bad they would still live stuck in between the track, because you know their body is in the track and the train is holding them, and they're gonna die as soon as they have to move the train. You know what I'm saying? And we was little kids, and you know they tell you these graphic stories because you know it's good that you ain't no the way they do it now. Telling people, I mean, not telling your kids the things, and oh, there's bad people, and that's all they'll say. There's bad people, so your kids don't listen to you. They're one of the good guys, mommy. Yeah, they're a good guy. You know, you don't talk. I don't care before. No, don't do this. Don't do that. It did. If I catch you doing it, you know, I'm gonna break your behind. You know, that's all they need. They don't need all that. Those bad guys. There are bad guys out there. There are good guys out there. You know, I'm like, damn, I remember my mom, they told me, don't never stand by the train track, because somebody, it don't matter how big you are. Somebody get a running start and push you at the right time, like they do, your ass going over the side in front of that train. And so you seen, like, one lady, what happened, she got lucky. The lady timed it wrong, and she just got knocked into the moving train. But if the lady was like a second earlier, she would have been killed. You see this shit like a couple months ago. I saw this shit. I'm like, why? Who in the hell would be standing by the train tracks waiting on the train? You know, I'm like, if I had been still living in New York, I'm still standing with, you know, back against the wall, up against the pole or something. I mean, the column. But anyway, let me take this thing down to this other mechanic and shit, and drop him off and let him look at it. I got that old insurance check. It's not old, but it took months to goddamn. Matter of fact, when I bought it with this, but I used my own money. They finally gave me this, the uninsured motorist, because the chick didn't have insurance. So I had to reach in my own pocket. But anyway, drop it off.